you know, when people are like, oh, your hood gaps aren't very good, I'm like, well, wait, watch this. Oh, they're better. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna, you know, go drive my car and have fun now. What's up, people? So today I thought I would give you guys a full rundown of the Petrolicious and VinWiki Viper that I drive all the time. And I found this. I don't know if they need it. And it's probably gonna end up in somebody's tire. So, you guys wanna see the car? Anyway, come here. I do drive it a lot. It's got the better part of 90,000 miles, as some of you may have seen. And no, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. And I think you guys will enjoy seeing that too. But come on over. You can see there's, you know, some mods and things over the years. Made these carbon fiber canards here, just cut them out of a flat piece of carbon. I made a template out of cardboard, so I cut it to give the exact contour I wanted. But basically, as the story goes, it ended up with the big Hennessy spoiler before I bought it. And it already had holes and stuff drilled, so I just figured it'd be easier just to leave it on and live with the 90s glory of the wing. But with that on, the front looked unbalanced, so I had to do something cool. So I made my carbon fiber canards. And some of you VinWiki guys will remember from my high school story that my English teacher didn't know what canard meant in terms of an engineering term, and then everybody laughed at me, and it was really annoying. So watch the VinWiki story of high school, and you'll see that. But it was fun to make. And also, to be quite frank, there's a little curb rash here. And this particular nose, after it was wrecked, had some filler on it, not so properly, and it got rashed. And I can't even remember why, but I figured it was easier to put a canard on it than to actually fix the bumper and paint it properly underneath. So it works and it looks good. And if the car gets hurt, I don't care, there's a canard on it, because I drive it. What up? Anyway, come on over, I'll show you guys some more stuff. It does have some Forged Star wheels on it nowadays. It's not because I think I'm cool and I need giant wheels to fit in. It's actually because everybody else did. And what that means is tires have changed, and the original Viper tire sizes, you can only get like Michelin Pilot Sports, and they're really expensive, like $2,600 for a set of tires, old ones. And I was able to get these wheels for like another $500 in that. I got a whole new set of cool wheels with Pirelli P0 ZR rated tires on it. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna get new wheels. And that way when I need new tires, they're reasonably affordable. So I was just kind of thinking of the long term, and they look cool. I gotta give kudos to my wife for picking out white and telling me that was a good choice. I think everybody digs it. And I don't know, I was feeling chachi and almost went with gold, and then everybody makes Subaru and vaping jokes, so I didn't do that. It's got cross-drilled and vented slotted brake rotors on it. No, they work pretty good. They help get rid of a little fade if you're on it hard. So you gotta go with that, but come on over, we'll look at some more stuff. You know, obviously you got all the bulging, cool Viper glory that everybody loves, we'll get to. And you know, you'll notice it grows with you, right? It picks up your character. I don't have this car because I care if anybody else sees it. I'm just sharing it with you guys now because there's a lot of young car people out there that want to do that with cars too. So I think it'll be fun. So, you know, as far as stickers, everybody makes fun of them. I just kind of like them. You collect them. It's like stickers on your toolbox, you know. Obviously, Genius Garage has meant a lot to me over time. United States flag, of course. American car. Got to be proud of where you're from and making you you, so why not? Columbus Cars and Coffee, had a lot of fun with those guys and Paul Milligan down there. Great events. So it's kind of gathered that. This is the old Mobil 1 horse from way back in the day. A lot of 1950s race cars you see have that exact same logo on it. So I put that on there because my first race car was a 1957 Devon and had the same Mobil horse. So that's what that's all about. Got a Thunderbird sticker on it. Obviously, you know, men and women in the United States Air Force, a lot of great people there, people to look up to, got some family members there, and I was honored to be able to go fly with the Thunderbirds recently, so had to put a sticker on. Super cool. Come on over, we'll look at some more stuff. You know, getting around to the back, you know, here's the wing that's gonna make a lot of people go, oh, I hate that wing, Well, honestly, man, I don't know if I love it too, but it is super 90s, and it's a Hennessy wing, and that was a cool Viper thing, so look it up, why not? And if I take it off, there's holes, and then I'm gonna have to fix it. And now, like, you know, if I want to get fast food, we can just like put our food here and eat like a nice little picnic table here in America, like watch a baseball game. So shut up. I don't care if it makes that much downforce. It's there. It's 90s. It's cool. What up? Anyway, back to the back, you know, just collecting stickers as you go, as you drive, you know. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, been there with the students in Genius Garage a bunch of times. We've got a lot of great memories there. NASA, Plumbrook Station and Glen Lewis, they've been nice enough to have the Genius Garage students come visit. So I'm gonna save my camera guy right now from a bug. Hold on, dude, you're about to die. Are you allergic to wasps or bees or yellow jackets or something? Oh my God, we're gonna die.
Oh, no.
Dude, hold on. Is this making for good YouTube? Be gone, bee!
Stings me, I'm gonna be...
It's climate change. He's losing his mind. All right, tragedy averted. So yeah, no, picking things up. Obviously, VinWiki, love telling stories with Ed Bolian. Great channel, really fun for car community. Petrolicious, earned it. I mean, that's amazing. Petrolicious, really classy community, unbelievable videos. Really proud of their filmmakers and videographer, and honored to be part of it. So might as well rep there. Putsch Racing, that was back in the day. That was my kind of first business, building stuff, learning to do race prep, learning about all the life lessons in business. What I like to do for the future, what I don't want to do for the future, and that's just kind of life. That's business. That's why people grow and change, and why not have a sticker on it. Beyond that, I got kind of cutesy. On the edge of the white stripes, I put this 3M tape that's sort of reflective. It's white, so you don't notice it, but at night it kind of picks up headlights and stuff, and it's just kind of cool. It's kind of fun. I don't know. You know, what do you want from me? You gonna judge me? I don't care. Go for it. The exhaust, I don't actually know which system it is. It's been on there since I bought the car. The dude that had it originally spent a fair amount on it, and it sounds great. It's basically straight pipes, no mufflers, so yeah, it's gonna help out. And so it is true dual exhaust, one off each bank of 5 cylinders, and then they just meet right here. So it gives you that crazy dual exhaust, but 5 cylinders on each bank instead of 4, as we're accustomed to with V8s. And then they both exit in the same place, so it makes for some cool raspy noises you guys might have noticed in the Petrolicious video. And we put the mic right there, so that really gives you the go there. But come around here, you know, the blue, real classic with the blue with white stripes, the reason people like it. Come on in close if you want. But the morning sun here's on it. It's really just sparkling, just giving you that life. And this car is getting old. I should probably, you know, wax it and stuff. But I drive it. Here's the cap everybody likes, the Le Mans filler cap. You just pop it and it opens up. Now, truth be told, they put the DOT like, yeah, emissions thing in it or whatever, and that seals it up. Because it still has to have the little flapper, just like, you know, modern cars do. But if I just went like that, and I took that modern stuff out, this is a, you know, a real race filler cap. It actually has a sealing ring here, and it would probably seal half decent. I say half decent. I don't really want to test it, so whatever. This goes inside, and you guys can call it fake. But it's not. It would work. It's just that. The other thing, too, is, you know, I actually care about this car and drive it. And you can see, this is aluminum corrosion. This is the rust of aluminum. This white stuff, it gets underneath the clear coating. Can you see that, or is it able to focus that close?
Oh, that's good.
Okay, that's cool. All right, come on back. But yeah, guys, you know, and one day I'll, you know, I'll take this out and I'll strip the clear coat and polish it and re-clear coat it, and it'll be fine. So, you know, don't hate. It's just kind of life with cars and driving them. But yeah, it's the wheels on it are actually the same size as the brand new Viper. All Vipers have had 6-spoke lugs, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be, so don't hate on me, all the wheels are interchangeable for Vipers. Like the new ones are bigger and wider and everything like that, so on an old one they're gonna look different. It works out. So they work out pretty well. One thing I did notice, and I'll be frank, when you go taking your street car and putting new wheels on it and tires, and you're changing aspect ratios and widths and stuff, it's gonna handle differently. And like it might be fine on the street and hustling it around, but you take it on a track, it may no longer be balanced in terms of turning. And I found that out actually because one of my students, Drew, like beat me at an autocross, and I'm like, oh man, I just lost to a Subaru. And I was driving the crap out of the Viper, but it was pushing like a dump truck in an autocross because these tires are giant in the back and small in the front, and it just wasn't balanced for that. So it looked good. I was sliding around like an idiot, but it wasn't a great day. But Drew had fun in his Subaru, so good on him. But just remember that, guys. You go put on big, changing your tires and stuff, and you're gonna change the handling of your car. But it does really well for the street, and it looks good, and it's cheaper, and that's helpful when you drive your car a lot. So, you know, hate on me if you like. But, you know, race cars are for racing, and this is just my everyday cool hot rod, right? Beyond that, what you can't see in the differential back here, it has a different rear gear ratio, slightly lower. Vipers have a really tall rear end ratio. So first gear, you slip it a lot, and 6th gear is like a crazy super overdrive, doesn't make sense. So it's a little lower ratio. I think it's like 3.73 to 1, something like that. It's not crazy low because, you know, old hot rodders and muscle car drag racer guys back in the day would put way too low gears in their car, and then they suck on the road and going 55 or on the highway. So, you know, you want a car that's good for everything. So that really helps out a lot for Viper, changing that. Also, the old differential in it had the friction discs and that got kind of worn out. So replaced it with an Eaton, I think it was a True Track. So now the differential works with all kinds of gears and stuff, and it should work well. But it's been great. It really hooks amazing. I mean, the thing really bites and hooks out of a corner, which is cool. But you know, you got to commit more if you want a power slide. So beyond that, let's look inside the engine bay. Let me show you guys how to do that, because the Viper has a crazy hood. This big old thing, right? You don't actually do it from the inside, but that doesn't mean try to steal Viper stuff, because the alarm and everything jacks with you if it's locked. So you reach in here and there's a latch, kind of old school. The front pops up, then of course you got your release. So the front of the hood comes up. Why don't you come on over here? So there's a bunch of steps opening the Viper hood, because it's huge. It's all part of it. So then you can open the rear. Now the thing that's really cool about this is some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's harder to work on your engine. Like, not really, kind of. But honestly, if you make the whole front of your car open like this, you can have a really beautiful car, and you don't have to have ugly hood lines. Like the next body generation of Vipers, they got just so normal and boring looking. This was legit. So it looks really good. Also, hoods, frankly, from Chrysler are very expensive. I think the list price on these old hoods is like $18,000. And you guys are gonna freak out, oh, I can't drive one, what if I hurt my hood? Okay, well, first of all, you have insurance. And secondly, people wreck these things all the time, so you can get salvage ones. And then thirdly, you can fix them, so relax, okay? But anyway, here we go. So we got the 8-liter V10 all aluminum engine, which is very cool. And people are like, oh, it's just a hot rod with a truck motor. Well, you're just, you know, I don't know, a gorilla. No, it's a pretty sophisticated engine. It's smart. Obviously, it goes back to all the old days of a single camshaft pushrod engine that the Americans love to do, but they've done it really well over the last half century plus. Lamborghini had a lot to do with tuning this engine and some of, I think, the architecture and engineering, which is pretty cool. Actually, you can see up here on the throttle bodies, it says Magneti Marelli. Not made in America, that's Italian. So that's kind of neat. Magneti Marelli, what up? So, you know, why not? And then it's all part of it. But the other thing that's interesting, if you look at the architecture of this V10, it's actually somewhat similar to an LS variant. So in some ways, it's kind of a V10 LS. So for all you LS guys, right? Obviously my car's dirty because I drive it, and I could clean it if I want to, but then it'll just get dirty again. So I keep it at a relatively state of cleanliness. It's got this carbon fiber box here for the NACA duct, so it's an actual cold air intake. And K&N air filters that, you know, you got to wash every now and then and clean up. But it's reasonably easy to service and get to all your belts. I've updated some things in the cooling system. It's got silicone hoses for long lasting quality and all. But obviously you got your coolant bottle here for your coolant. You got your brakes, like any old car. You got your master cylinder for your clutch, and that's an A&P. That's typical race kind of stuff. So that's kind of neat. You know, you got to fiddle with relays and whatnot sometimes, and things generally do pretty well. After it gets old and whatnot, you can have some little fiddly issues, like with electronics, like fans and stuff. I had my windshield wipers and my fans glitch out occasionally, but it's not a big deal. Keep in mind, it's an older car, and it's a low production run car. It's effectively hand built. So while the Viper can be driven all the time, it needs to have an owner that gets it, both as a driver, so you're not an idiot and wreck it, and mechanically sympathetic. So even if you're not a mechanic, you're smart enough to know what's going on and look after it and not ruin it. So for all the people that are having a bad time with Vipers, they're either a terrible driver or a terrible mechanic and know nothing about cars. Those kind of people should not own a Viper, because those are the kind of people that just park them, put no miles on them, rub them with a cloth, tell stories about how difficult they are to drive and how wild and woolly. So they want you to think they're cool for not driving it. Well, we don't think you're cool. We think you're wasting the cars. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if you care, but it's my opinion. Anyway, let's close this up. I'd like to show you guys the back. And, you know, I've worked on this car myself. When it got wrecked and that person tried to cross 5 lanes of traffic in front of me illegally and I couldn't avoid it, you know, insurance took it. It was gone. I just didn't have time in my life to fix it at the time. Somebody else got it, put it together. They did an okay job, and then I ended up buying it back. And I had to spend a lot of time. I spent months. It was in my condo fixing it up. So I actually worked on this in my 2-car garage condo. I mean, I had the engine heads off, the manifolds, the exhaust manifolds, everything. The camshaft was out, redoing the lifters. So I was actually doing fairly serious engine work, even with the hood on. Had to take the radiator out to get the camshaft out. But I did all that, you know, at home, just like the old days. I mean, might as well be the 1960s, right? But come on here, I'll show you the trunk. This is slightly annoying. There's nowhere in the inside to pop it. I actually have to do it with a key. So you open up the glass. That's kind of cool because there's no extra body lines. And it's got a decent trunk. Obviously, there's a spare tire here. I've never used it. There's some speakers back here. You know, it carries a reasonable amount. There used to be a subwoofer in it from the last guy. I took it out because, I don't know, I got old. And old people are like, it's too loud. And so the sub amp is still in there. And that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about using the leads to the amp to power that deep sea crab chap winch to launch the Flying Terror. So you may have seen on VinWiki on it. Just take the glass off. I haven't done that yet, but I guess I left the amp in case I want another sub. But, you know, it works. You can put duffel bags on it and go for a trip. My wife and I like to go places in it and whatnot. It works out pretty well. So there's that. Let's check out the cockpit. There's no mechanical latch on the outside of the Viper, which is really cool because designers usually make their cars really ugly with those big, dumb latches. And I had a Corvette C6 and I hated it because it had that stupid electronic release and there was a delay. So not only was this big opening for no reason, you had to delay it. But I like the Viper because you just unlock it and all I have to do is push this button and it unlocks every time. It's great. Look at that. I just, boom, 2 fingers. And it looks kind of cool, right? Now you might be saying, Casey, you hate electronic things. What if it doesn't work? Well, there's an emergency release that's not electronic, it's actually cable right here. So if it glitches out or the battery dies, you can open it up from the inside here. And you're like, well, Casey, what if it's locked and the windows are up? Well, you got a key and you open up the trunk and you just reach through and pop it that way. So that's how you do it if the electronics fail, but it looks cool and it opens up nice. Door's pretty lightweight, obviously low production car. This is not an electronic mirror. You adjust it like an old school mirror in the 60s, right? And I just put it in one place and it's good. After they get old, you know, the weather stripping and stuff kind of deteriorates. You can come look at this. And I should totally glue this or get new, but I haven't yet because I have a life and drive my car. And what are you going to hate me? And what do I think my entire net worth as a person on earth is based on if my car is flawless? It's fine. I'll fix it later. Give me a break. I'm going to try and Genius Scratch. Okay, guys? So anyway, you know, you get a different, little bit better speaker in there, Polk audio, I think, and whatnot. But we'll hop in and check it out. Got a pretty big sill. You know, there's a lot of talk about how rumors would burn people getting in and out. I think the very early ones where the side pipes exit here, there was metal and they'd be hot. So, you know, if you get out and you're like, well, I'm putting my leg here. Oh, I've been burned. I don't think you really get burned that bad. It might be hot and maybe like make it a little red. Oh, and by the way, this is middle America. And if you look over there right now, there's some random dude on a dirt bike and he's running around. Not for any good reason, but he really wants to make sure he shows off his authority and this is his territory and he makes a lot of noise. So dude, I like your dirt bike, but come on, man, go somewhere else. I know what you're thinking. I've been you once. So anyway, we're back to the Viper. So it doesn't really burn you, but the exhaust does go through here, so it's pretty warm. My wife, you know, she's not wearing pants, so to speak. She's wearing a dress or something. She's not had any issues. So no big deal there. Cool seat. It's actually got like a sphygmometer bulb here that you can pump up if you see here, like a doctor's, you know, they're taking your blood pressure. So there's a bladder for lumbar support, but honestly, that thing started losing air a long time ago. It doesn't work anymore. What are you gonna do? I like the seat. There's a release here. You can change the tilt of the back, obviously, and you can go forwards and back. The other cool thing about the Viper, if you look down here, so here's the pedals, right? And they're pretty decently laid out. I can put my right foot here and then blip the throttle for toe heel downshifting. But if you see this knob here, see the pedals going forward or back? That's really cool, especially for a car that's not like a hyper expensive supercar. I can adjust the pedals to the exact right spot. The steering wheel is just a slight tilt, which is all it really needs to be. So you get it in your spot, you can adjust your pedals where they need to be, you put your seat where you need to be. So if you're just driving on the highway long distance, you'll be a little more comfortable, but still be able to drive reasonably. But if you're gonna autocross or something, you just pop the back of your seat up a little bit, get the pedals a little closer so you can be on it. So that's actually pretty nice. It's as simple as it needs to be to get the job done for the driver. Looking through here more, you can see some modifications, some small ones, it's just kind of personal taste. This is not the stock steering wheel and this is not the stop shift knob. This button doesn't belong, but it's the horn because I took the stock steering wheel off and then it was all complicated to make this horn work, so I just put it there. What do you want from me? It's his personal car, not a client car. But this is my old Fittipaldi personal wheel. It actually came on the Volkswagen Scirocco race car my dad and I got when we autocrossed. And we took it off for some reason, put something else on it, sat around forever, because this is actually from the early 80s. But it's a great wheel. Like, you get your thumbs in here and you can wrap your hands around like this, and it's perfect. And the biggest problem with the new Vipers are the designers who designed the steering wheel are like, well, we don't know anything about driving or cars, and neither do the people who are buying this car. So we're gonna make a steering wheel that you have to grab like this. So yeah, everybody who worked on the new Vipers that just went out, whoever designed the steering wheel, you just ruined the car. Like, I want one of those cars, but the steering wheel's garbage. You literally can't put your hands around it. You have to drive like this, which is not good ergonomics. Or you have to put your hands up here or down here, which is also not good ergonomics. What were you guys thinking? Anyway, so the steering wheels on these Vipers were better, but I just wanted it more like this. And then you may be thinking, well, Casey, you don't have an airbag anymore. Aren't you worried about getting hurt? Well, I didn't have an airbag in it when I got totaled and somebody was in front of me and I was fine. It does have a little bit of a short shift kit, and I put this just real simple aluminum knob. Actually, I got it from Jags. It was cheap. But I really like the size because you can get your hand around it. People like to put those giant balls on, which just don't make any sense because then you have to shift it like this. And they like to put them way down here because they think they're cool race car drivers because you barely move it. You actually want some throw like this. It's just better. You can shift fast or slower, be nice to your car. And this works out really well. So this, I can wrap my hand around like this ergonomically if I need it. So like when I'm pulling back from first to second back, it's nice to have it like this. But when I'm going from like second to third, I want to put my palm here and let the detents help me. So you want it to be ergonomic nicely this way, but round at the top so that I can do those positions. When I'm coming back, I might do this, but I might frankly hold at the top and come straight back because the detents hold it. And then fourth to fifth is like that. And then, you know, fifth to sixth is like this. When I go back, bang, it's here, there, down here, there. So this shift knob I really like ergonomically because it allows me to do all those positions well. And it's just a cheap knob from Jags. Got a little bit of short shift kit. And that's kind of that. The stereo, whatever, it's a Sony, it's a CD. I know, I'm ghetto. I got an auxiliary input that's been adapted because Apple sucks and got rid of the aux jacks because they think they're awesome and gonna change the world and make us all into cyborgs. Thanks for nothing, Apple! So anyway, I got this, here, Hootenanny, and I just jam my cell phone here. Whatever, it works. I'm in the middle of Ohio, what do you want from me? I do like the white gauges, I think they're cool. Those are all stock, and they're nicely laid out, and they work. What more do you want? There's no cruise control, there's no traction control, there's no ABS. It does have electronic windows because there wouldn't be anywhere to roll it up. Something else that's weird about the Viper, which is the same as like a Lamborghini Diablo, the seatbelts are backwards. The seatbelts are actually in the middle of the car, not out here, for an engineering reason. I think the original ones had some wacky seatbelt layout like on the door, and then it came through here, and they're just like, that makes no sense. And there's a bunch of room to put seatbelt, you come on in here, you can see it, put seatbelt reels in the middle. So seatbelts are actually backwards, but they work fine. It's just different than what people aren't used to. And like I said, you know, you got electronic windows, you got air conditioning. Mine doesn't work very well anymore. It's been a long, long time. I recharged it and that worked for about a week. You know, it's, I don't know, it's got headlights, you know. Something else that's kind of neat, and once you go outside, I'll do it one time. I don't want to scratch up the windshield, but watch the windshield wipers here. I'm going to just turn them on once. They've got a neat actuation. Here they go. They go that way, that way, that way, that way. That's kind of cool. Sort of like folds all up like an origami thing going on. But that's kind of neat too. So you got your motor here, and they coordinate real well. They've never hit each other. It's just kind of fun. They're really effective. They get a good sweep of the whole windscreen. So I think that's pretty smart designing they did back then. And I really enjoy it. Car's pretty comfortable. It wears really well. It's timeless. Come on back. You know, people like to complain, well, I don't like a Dodge Viper because I think the interiors are cheap and they're rattly. Well, first of all, what kind of snob are you? Seriously? Like, first of all, do you have one? And secondly, do you have a car that's better? Probably not. And you're just being a snob. I like the interior the way it is. It's got nice leather that wears. It's black, so if I'm actually doing real work like a real human being, I'm not going to get it stained and I can wash it once in a while. And yeah, you know, the dashboard's plastic. Look at it. Come here. The dashboard's plastic, but I don't care because I can wipe it off. You know, I don't have to worry about treating leather all the time for the sun. It doesn't crack like an old Porsche or BMW. Hey, and it's there and it's fine. So, you know, what do you want from me? I think it's great. I think it gets the job done. If you want to dude it up and make it look fancy for no good reason to spend money on it, then be my guest. But it's all about the driving, isn't it? And I really don't care if anybody likes it or not, or thinks I'm stupid or not. I just think the car's great and I enjoy driving it. Isn't that what it's all supposed to be about? Well, at least I thought so. But, you know, it's fun. It's not perfect. It's old. You know, the drive shafts are kind of worn out, so there's driveline lash. So if you drive slow, you let somebody drive it that doesn't know what they're doing, it'll be like, arr, 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 arr. so I just kind of drive around that. I need to put a new drive shaft sometime, and then that'll be great. And you know, it ages, but you fix it and you make it right. It's got a lot of stone chips. You want to check them out. This side's not so bad. You can see it starts to lose the paint down here. This rocker panel here that covers the exhaust is actually aluminum. So it starts to get, you know, sandblasted here and there and whatnot. The other side's worse because, you know, we drive on the right side of the road in America and you get stones and stuff closer to the edge. So you can see here where it's picked up a lot more peppering just from natural driving here, you know what I mean, going through the paint and the primer and all that in there. And you know what, one day I'll take this thing off and I'll paint it if it gets too bad. But in the meantime, it's aluminum, it's not rusting, and you know, it shows character, it shows patina. And I think that maybe a little lesson there is, you know, it is just a car. It's a material object. It doesn't make you a good person or make you a bad person, it's just a thing. But it's something that if you enjoy it, if you enjoy the art of it, if you enjoy the experience of it and driving it and other people enjoy it, then it's a fun thing to have and drive and use the way it's intended. Cars aren't made to sit in a garage. They're not made to go on a stupid Concours lawn and be overly restored so everybody can think they're self-important to do that. No offense, it's fun to go to a Concours, but if that's all you're doing, like, what are you doing with cars? It's made to be driven and enjoyed. And you know, all this aging is part of the experience. It's kind of fun to fix it, you know, because you used it. And it's like, wow, job well done. I could put another 50,000 miles on it or something. And I've been through suspension, it's got coilovers and everything like that. But that's really what it's all about. So, you know, when people are like, oh, your hood gaps aren't very good, I'm like, well, wait, watch this. Oh, they're better. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna, you know, go drive my car and have fun now. So that's it, guys. It's a car for people that love life, want to drive, have fun, know how to work on it, know how to be sympathetic, and you're cool with that. I mean, if you want a Corvette, get a Corvette. They're all right too. And there's other things, but you know, for some people, the Viper is great. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm kind of just blabbing on forever, but I gotta go get to work. In the meantime, I hope you guys will comment, like, and subscribe. See you guys next time.